Good afternoon, participants. Today we have Dr. Albert Alexander with us for third day of our FDP on Deep Learning and Healthcare Systems. Dr. Albert Alexander is a recipient of prestigious Raman Research Fellowship from the University Grants Commission. He is a postdoctoral research fellow from Northeastern University, Boston, USA. His current research focuses on fault diagnostic systems for solar energy conversion systems and smart grids. He has 16 years of academic and research experience. He has published 76 technical papers in international and national journals, including IEEE Transactions, IET, Elsewhere, Taylor and Francis, Springer, Wiley, etc., and presented 66 papers at national and international conferences. He has completed 10 Government of India funded projects with an overall grant amount of Rs 3 crores. His PhD work on power quality earned him a national award for ISTE, and he has received 27 awards for his meritorious academic and research career, such as Young Engineers Award from IEA, Young Scientist Award from SPRERA, Best Researcher Award from IEEE Madras Session, etc. He has also received the National Teaching Award, Innovator Award from MHRD. He is an approved Margadarsh from AICT. He is the approved mentor for change under Atal Innovation Mission. He is an AICT approved translator under National Education Policy to translate engineering books into regional languages. He has guided 32 graduate and postgraduate projects. 6 research scholars completed their PhD under his guidance. He is a member and in prestigious positions in various national and international forums such as Senior Member IEEE, Vice President for Energy Conservation Society India, etc. He is a chairman for IEEE Power Electronics Society, IEEE Madras Session. He has been an invited speaker in 275 programs covering 9 Indian states and also at USA. He has organized 13 events, including faculty development programs, workshops, and seminars. He completed his graduate program in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from Bardiyar University and his postgraduate and PhD programs from Anna University, India. Formerly, he worked as a professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Kongu Engineering College. Presently, he is working as an associate professor, grade 2, in the School of Electrical Engineering, Vellore Institute of Technology, Vellore, and also doing research work in artificial intelligence based controllers for power conversion, smart healthcare systems, smart grids, solar PV, and power quality improvement techniques. He has authored the following books in his area of interest: Algorithm and Design Complexity by CRC Press, Basic Electrical Engineering by Kanna Publishers, Design and Simulation of Electrical Machines with MATLAB by Nova Publishers, Power Electronic Converters for Electrical Vehicles by CRC Press, Power Electronic Converters for Solar PV Systems by Elsevier, Advanced Deep Learning for Engineers and Scientists by Springer, Computational Paradigm Techniques for Enhancing Electrical Power Quality by CRC Press, Basic Electrical Electronics and Measurement Engineering by Anuradha Publishers, and Special Electrical Machines by Anuradha Publishers. Sir, we welcome you to take over the session.
Thank you. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, whether the screen is visible?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Okay. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to deliver the talk on funding opportunities in AI-based healthcare systems. Okay. Actually, I am a person from electrical domain doing my research in power electronics. Now, currently, we are doing some works in AI-based healthcare in association with Christian Medical College, Vellore, and KMCT Hospital that is in Calicut, and also in AIMS. Okay, so these 3 hospitals we have collaborated with, and we are doing some research works and product development. So the overall objective of this afternoon session is to make an eye-opening session for each and every one of us to know about the funding opportunities, especially in AI-based healthcare systems. Many research fundings are available, and many call for proposals are presently being available. So here in this session, we are going to discuss about how to prepare a proposal and how much time it normally will take for developing a proposal, and how to submit the proposal, and how to submit a winning proposal. That is the overall objective. So for the next 1 hour, we are going to discuss about this on submission and also winning this proposal strategies. So before we are going to the session, I wish to acknowledge my funders, okay? Because altogether I am having 10 sponsored projects, okay? So few are ongoing and few are completed, okay? So I wish to thank my VIT and the DST, UGC and ASEAN and also ICMR, okay? Though is they are also one of our funders. And I belong to the IEEE Power Electronics Society, and I'm also chairing the IEEE Madras section. So I wish to make some acknowledgements. And these are some of the textbooks which I have written in my area of specialization on electrical vehicles and solar, and also in computational techniques. And recently, we have written a book on algorithm and design complexity, and also for deep learning and for engineers and scientists, and using the MATLAB for simulation of electrical machines. Okay, so these are some of our books, totally 10 books. So, what are the topics which I'm going to cover in this particular afternoon session? Is okay. What are the research areas, okay, which we are going to focus with to do some research in AI based healthcare? Okay, because healthcare technology is like a ocean. Okay, so where we can able to develop so much of wonders, but in align with the AI based methods, what are the research areas we can able to do with, and what are the possible internship opportunities are available for the people from India to go abroad to do some internships. Okay, so the couple of months before, 3 students from Egypt, they came to VIT and they undergone the internship under my guidance. Okay, so how to look over that those kind of internship opportunities and postdoctoral fellowship opportunities. Recently, many people's, so those who are completing the PhD, their only goal is to do the few postdoctoral fellowships. Okay, so how to crack these kind of interviews and how to apply for this postdoctoral fellowship with funding support. Okay, not with our own money, with the funding support, and how to make a possible industrial and international collaboration, and how to make some exchange programs that refers to the student exchange and also the faculty exchange programs, and how to establish research laboratories, and how to create a peaceful career path. Okay, because recently I visited some couple of institutes. Okay, so where the people, they are saying that our job is not quite peaceful. Okay, it is just like an industrial point of thing, but even though we are in academy, it is not a peaceful life. Okay, but I'm going to give some kind of tips related to how to make a career a peaceful way in bridging the gap between both academic and the research. Now you can get a question why I used this particular photograph in the particular slide. Okay, so why I used this particular photograph in this particular slide. Okay, everybody will have some question. Okay, the reason is, okay, so this picture was taken from the movie called Boys. Okay, so which was directed by director Shankar. Okay, so in that, this character, okay, name is called Kannayan. His name is called Kannayan. Okay, so he is my quite role model in the funding opportunities. Okay, maybe you might have watched the movie called Boys, directed by Shankar. Okay, and many a times while you are doing your undergrad, the movie has been a very box office at that time. Okay, so this particular character is always a role model. Okay, so you usually stay in the temple and you will be hiring a person. Okay, to get the food and going and getting the food like that. Okay, one day that intern, he will ask the question to the Kannayan, saying that why I should work under you. Okay, why I should work under you. I can go and get my own food. Okay, so you will be left alone. Why I want to work with you? At that time, this Kannayan will give this information such that okay, he is having a database. This is a database. Okay, with the database, you can able to say that at which time, at which instant, the food will be given in which temple. Okay, so you will be having a database. Okay, so that database alone is required for all the researchers at now. Okay, what does a database means? You should know when the DST call for healthcare opens, when the ICMR call for healthcare will open. Okay, when the SIRE grant will open. Okay, when the SURE grant is open, such kind of data set will be in your. Okay. Why it is required means, many people are doing a mistake. Once the call for proposal comes, only by that time only they will start writing the proposal. Okay. Sometime it may win, sometime it may not win. Okay. Most of the proposals, we may say that I got a proposal. And, okay. Might be at that time, okay, maybe some of the other projects may not be up to the mark, so yours will be got selected. Okay. It does not mean that whenever you send, it will be get selected. Okay. It is also depends upon the how much of merit of the competitive proposals received at particular time. Okay. So to get more and more proposals, okay, like that, we normally say that how many SCI publications, how many Scopus publications, like that, we have to say that we are having 5 funded projects, 6 funded projects, 10 funded projects, like that. Okay. So when these kind of proposal comes, we should know much more prior. So then only we can able to work towards that one. Nowadays, whenever we are going towards any kind of proposals, they are asking the proposal of TRL levels. Okay. TRL level is very, very important. That is, whenever your approach is only a basic idea alone, just idea alone, that is called TRL number 1. When the idea has been formulated, you made a flow chart and you made a diagram or a single line diagram, it will be the TRL number 2. And whenever it was experimentally had a prototype, that is called TRL number 3. So with the basic idea alone, we cannot be able to crack the proposals by now. Okay. So when I was getting the proposals in 2010, 11 and all, at that time, I don't have any kind of TRL number 3. I had only the concept. So they given the money for concept. But now they're not giving for concept. In addition to that, you should have a picturized way. You should have been tested the product at least in a laboratory level. Not on the full scale, at least in the TRL number 3, we have to reach out. Henceforth, okay, what is the need for research? Okay, so now we are going to move on to the needs of research. Okay, many a time, so more than a funding support or more than whatever it may be, the research needs interest. That's a very important one. Okay, whenever you want to acquire a funding, if you are doing for your appraisal points, or if you are doing for your merit to say that I got a project like that, more than that, we should have the interest. Okay, without interest, we cannot be able to submit the proposal in a fulfilled manner. So interest is very, very important. That is the first and foremost prerequisite for research. And second one is the motivation. Okay, by now we know that there is no one to motivate us. Okay, certain institutes, they are motivating. Okay, certain institutes, they are not motivating. Certain higher authorities, they are motivating. Certain people, they are not motivating. But whether they are motivated or not, we have to motivate ourselves towards the research. And next one, the research obviously requires academic support. Okay, that is, whenever you get some funding support, there should be some support from the academics and also from administrative side. Okay, that it does not mean that making the researchers to be free enough, but just reducing the load in both academic and also the administrative, reducing the load. Then only we can able to write the proposals. Okay, so and then the very important thing, that is the topic of the today webinar today. Now that's my session. That's on the financial support. That is very, very important. Whenever we want to do any kind of work, we need a financial support. Okay, without financial support, it is very difficult even for publishing a paper. Okay, now most of the paper journal publications was converted into a open access. There is mostly the subscription type of things are very, very lesser, whereas the open access publications are very, very more nowadays. So financial support is very, very required for doing some any project. Why we require the financial support? For an example, if you want to bring your idea into reality, or in order to fabricate a product, you need a financial support. And whenever you want to collect some data, or whenever you are not able to do the work because of your administrative or academic, or you want to hire a person where you can able to apply for the people, or recruit a person under manpower. Okay, and for the product development, you need some consumables. Okay, for testing the work, you need some equipments for testing. Okay, and for traveling, you need some funding. Okay, because for attending the conferences or even to collect the data set, we want to travel. Okay, so for traveling purpose, obviously we need money. Okay, so the financial support is obviously required to make the research to be a finest one. And next one is a subordinate support. Subordinate support is very, very important for the research. And next is the family level support. Okay. Family level support is also required whenever you are writing a proposal, the paper. So your family should agree that you are doing for the betterment, not only for you, but also for your family, but also for the institute or the department. So there is a support should be there from subordinate and also from the family. And also for the better research, we also no need to compromise about our health. Health is very, very important for doing the research, and also age factor. Okay. So these are the various requirements for doing a research. Since our FDP is basically on AI for healthcare, so here we are going to see about what are the funding agency which provides funding for both AI and healthcare for these keywords. Okay, so AI means, we so from the day one you are talking about on artificial intelligence. Okay, so artificial intelligence is not a new concept. It was developed in the year of 1943 by McCullough and Pitts. Okay, by writing a small AND-gate truth table problem. Okay, and also the linear separability problem in the XNOR gates, 1943, and the fuzzy principles in the 1954. Okay, and also we talk about on genetic based optimization, 1974, and also the machine learning algorithms. Okay, so they would have given some Mitchell definition on machine learning. So it has been in the 2000s. So we are using all these algorithms and everything for the purpose of healthcare. Okay, how these kind of AI based techniques can be useful for healthcare, either for prediction, either for classification, or either for clustering, or either for detection. Okay, other than this, what work can AI can be done? Okay, it cannot be able to do other than what I was saying for the list of applications. Either it can classify diseased or not diseased. Okay, either it can predict, okay, the future. What is machine learning? Machine learning is one using the present data and the past data predicting your future. Okay, so in the future, what disease this particular data set will come. That's all. And let us say that of clustering. Clustering means grouping the different kind of disease in a different clusters or different groups. Okay, like that we are having the supervisor and so all kind of algorithms are there. The people are working each and every day. The paper they are publishing on AI for the various applications. But here we talk about on AI for healthcare. So while taking for the healthcare, see for an example, when I was applying from AI for my applications like electronics or for my product development, equally I want to talk about on reliability and precision. But whenever I'm working with the same AI for healthcare, my accuracy and the precision and the reliability should be more than 1,000-fold than that of in other domains. So we want to see some kind of performance parameters. One is called as your precision, one is called as your reliability, and one is called as your accuracy. No compromise within this. Even while writing the proposal, I can write that I'm going to get the 100% accuracy, 100% reliability. But what is the outcome? So that was the requirement for writing a proposal. What are the various funding agencies are available, okay, for providing the funds for doing some research? Let us talk about on institutional funding. Okay, so the institutes like VIT, we are having the provision for applying through seed grants. Okay, according to NAC criteria. Okay, so every institutes they have to provide the seed grants for the faculty per year. Okay, and they have to see the outcomes. Okay, that's called institutional funding. Okay, and next is called the local level bodies, like some kind of in a small kind of industries and small kind of local level panchayat unions or municipal corporation or from collector office. They can able to give some research problems and they can able to solve the works. And nowadays in Tamil Nadu, we are having the Tamil Nadu state level government bodies. Okay, except Tamil Nadu state government for Council for Science and Technology, that is only a state government agency which is provides the funding. Okay, so that funding is also limited only to the undergraduate final year projects. Sometimes they are giving the Tamil Nadu Scientist Awards, they are giving some approval of the government colleges like that. But when you compare to the other government level bodies like Kerala State Council for Science and Technology or Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology, they are even allowing the faculty members to go for postdoctoral applications. Postdoctoral studies their funding. But we are having only the limitation to get the funding only for the final year undergraduate student projects. And now we are completely relying on these central government bodies. Okay, so like a DST, ICMR, and all kind of funding agency, we are depending. Similarly, many peoples are focusing towards the central government bodies, but now there is only a very limited exposure is available for the faculty members in Tamil Nadu, especially approaching the international bodies. Okay, there are so many international bodies are available. Okay, like British Council, like a Royal Academy of Engineering, United Kingdom, and TWAS, like that. If anybody interested for international bodies, I can also give you the list of international bodies. Okay, so that is also competitive only, but you can able to crack it, international level bodies. Okay, because in the DST and all the such things, the competition is very high. I'm saying that in addition to applying this, I request you also to focus on these international bodies which is providing the funding. And next is the company-based R&D. Company-based R&D means like Philips or some ABB or CPRI, they are providing the funding. Okay, so for doing some research problems and even the CDAC. Okay, and such kind of companies, so they are providing the R&D, especially either through call or they will be calling with the expression of interest, EOI. We have to make the EOI. Okay, to take part in their research work or to solve any one of the problems of them. And finally, certain kind of NGOs, they are providing some fundings for research. So altogether, as a summary of the funds for research, we still follow the central government bodies for funding. There are various types of funding like a seminar, conference, symposiums, research. So we are going to focus only on the research proposals. Okay. And now there are the various sponsoring agency from the central government, okay, such like Ministry of Science and Technology, we call it as a DST. From the DST, so from the Ministry of Science and Technology, we are having DST, Atomic Energy, CSIR, and Biotechnology. Okay, and then environmental forest, they are not giving any funds for AI in healthcare. And renewable energy, they are not giving for AI in healthcare. No and no. And the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, they are providing the funding for healthcare. So only the limited agencies, they are providing the funds for AI in healthcare. Now, University Grants Commission, even I did my postdoctoral fellowship under University Grants Commission. Okay, so nowadays their funding level also, earlier they used to give the major project and minor project. Now they limited the call for openings for the proposals. When we talk about on the UGC, as I already mentioned you, okay, I did my postdoc under UGC, and I also got one major research project under UGC, okay, under the stream of engineering and technology. So they are also giving their funding is not only limited to engineering and technology. They are giving funding to literature, languages, pharmacy, medical, and agricultural sciences. So for AI-based healthcare kind of work, we can even approach the University Grants Commission. But presently, there is no calls as of 2023, and today's date of 20th of December, there is no call for proposals in University Grants Commission. And let us talk about on AICTE. AICTE funding, normally whenever you're going for the NBA, National Board of Accreditation, so they are not considering the funding received from AICTE. Okay, because for R&D in the criteria number 4, we are having the related marks for the NBA. Okay, but the funding what you receive from the AICTE, NBA is not taking. Yes, except RPS. They can accept the RPS. That's a research promotion scheme they can able to accept in NBA. But we are having so much of other schemes like MODROPS, and so many schemes are available. But we talk about, but here this seminar is only on the research. So for the research based, we can able to see that RPS. Normally the month of December or November, the call for proposals will open AICTE. But this year, till now, there is no opening of this AICTE call for proposals. And this is what the thing of Department of Science and Technology, DST. So from the DST, there are so many schemes that has been available. Okay, so normally if you want to develop a product, okay, so unlike so applying some AI based algorithm for healthcare, you want to develop a product. So such kind of works can be submitted to Technology Development Program, we normally called as a TDP. So this is the agency which I got my first research project. When I was developing an inverter, I got the funding from this TDP program. So this TDP program proposal is very simple to write. I will also explain you at the end of our presentation. I will also explain you with the help of one proposal. I will explain you how to go through the proposal, how to write, what not to write. That I'm going to show you in a case study section. Okay. Similarly, there will be some kind of specific call for proposals will come. Okay. Specific call for, like, some kind of international collaboration based proposals, like Indo-Israel, Indo-Norway, Indo-Korea, Indo-Thailand, okay, Indo-Brazil. Such kind of proposals will also come under Department of Science and Technology. So those kind of proposals are also very easier to crack. But before that, whenever we are making some collaboration, we should not make the collaboration only during the call for proposal. Okay, if you want to make any kind of collaborative proposals, quite earlier itself, you have to point out the professor in such so and so country, and you have to make some notable publications along with them that will add the merit for your proposal. Okay, if not, for the purpose of proposal, you have added a name. Such kind of proposals cannot bring a good merit. So that's on the DST. And the Department of Atomic Energy, under the scheme of BRNS, that we called as a Board of Research in Nuclear Sciences. So in this particular agency, you no need to submit only during the call. You can able to submit throughout the year. Okay, so here we can able to even submit some application software development, or AI, or neural networks, or image processing. Okay, or else we can able to even develop a medical electronic. These are some of the trusty areas for this Department of Atomic Energy. So where we can able to submit the proposals throughout the year. Okay, there is no regular call for. You can able to visit the website called BRNS, and you can able to submit the proposal. And next is the CSIR lab. CSIR, it's a central government research lab. Okay, so in India, nearly 42 or 41 research laboratories are available in various disciplines. In Tamil Nadu, we are having a Karaikudi CSIR lab is available. So they are phenomenally or predominantly, they are working in the battery division. Okay, batteries. Okay, but this particular process, so we want to check which CSIR lab is much associated with your area of research. Okay, for an example, since we are working about on the drugs and diagnostics, we can able to point out which CSIR lab out of this 41 research laboratories, which research lab is oriented towards your thrust area. So what we have to do, a regular call for proposals available the CSIR HRDG. So we have to contact anyone professor or anyone scientist from CSIR, and we want to make them to understand about our proof of concept or our objectives, and we can able to submit the proposal. And next is the very interesting is the DBT. So biotechnology division is the one and only source or funding agency next to DST. Okay, so these two funding agency are continuously making the call for proposals. Even so, here we want to talk about on the medical biotechnology based solutions can be applied in this DBT. Okay, so we want to find out which are the thrust areas of the individual funding agency. So medical biotechnology is a very emerging area, and even your RNA technology or the nanotechnology, some kind of things. And even recently, the biotechnology under BIRAC division, I will show you the BIRAC also. They exclusively called a proposal for AI in healthcare. Okay, recently. Okay, I will tell you. Okay, and even for the establishment of centers of excellence, DBT is providing the funding. Okay, and DRDO is a Defense Research and Development Organization. But as I already mentioned you, this DRDO does not have any kind of thrust area related to medical field. But anyway, with help of some kind of devices, some hypersonics, we can able to see how your solution will be helpful for the defense personnel. Some AI-based healthcare solutions for defense personnel. Such kind of thing can be submitted to DRDO. There won't be any call for will be there. Okay, but the meanwhile, so we can able to submit the proposals throughout the year. And this is called earlierly the ministry was under Department of Information Technology. Now it was called earlier it was DIT. Now the name was changed as MIT, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Okay, so whenever you are having some works related to medical electronics or telemedicine, okay, such kind of works can be submitted to, or microelectronics or nanoelectronics or bioinformatics based research works, or even if you want to develop a software or a scientific computing like AI. So some kind of things, can be submitted to MIT. And this is what our talk of today presentation, we normally called as ICMR, Indian Council for Medical Research. Okay. So normally they accept the proposals related to health domain, either with the communicable or non-communicable diseases, or basic medical or traditional medicine, or tribal health. Okay. We work mostly on the tribal health, and also nutrition and child health and reproductive and women health care. Such kind of works are available if you're available, you can able to submit through ICMR. Now, so till now we have seen that what is meant by the funding agency, okay, and what are the various funding agencies and what are the thrust areas, and we figure out that minimum there are only 5 funding agencies are available related to AI in healthcare. The rest of the funding agency, they are related to electrical domain, renewable domain, space research domain, like that. So minimum 5 research agencies are available. Okay. Now to the second part of our presentation, how to prepare a proposal. Okay. So in that we have completed the first part. We have collected the background information about the funding agency. Okay. So when before going to applying for any funding agency, we want to make a background check. Okay. I don't want to mention one funding agency under Government of India. They normally submit a call for proposals. They will advertise like anything. We also will normally submit the proposals also. Okay. But they will never ever announce the results. Okay. So such kind of agencies are also available. Okay. So we have to make a background funding agency. Okay. So how, what are their requirements, and whether the healthcare can be applied to this area or not. Okay. Whether this funding agency provides a sufficient funding. So earlier call for how many proposals they have selected, in which are the institutes they have selected. Okay. Especially if you are visiting the website called DST FIST. Okay. So in that particular website, they will be having the 2 columns. What are the selected proposals and what are the non-selected proposals? And they will also given the reason for why they have not selected the proposals. More than a success proposals, we want to see only the failure proposals. Why it was not selected. Okay. So we have to make a background information, whether the funding agency is, what is the duration by which it announcing the results. Okay, how many proposals it was, whether it was periodical, who is the scientist presently looking after this particular scheme, okay, and which are the people of your circle or your friend circle have already received this particular grant, okay, what is the maximum funding they are giving. That will be helpful for while going for the budgeting. Next important thing is why. So till now we understood about our background information of the funding agency. Next, we have to concentrate on the proposal format. Especially the DST FIST, many proposals are rejected only because of the non-formal application formats. Okay, we have to, because every year the formats will change. Okay, may change or may not change. Okay, so that depends upon the funding agency thing. But what people will normally will do, so they will take the proposals which has been submitted in the last year, and they will be edited that particular proposals. So that should be avoided. Okay, so we have to take the recent format. We have to cross check the format again and again and again, and then we have to start our proposal work. And next is a thrust area list. Thrust area list means whether your area of research is applicable for that particular domain or not. Whether this proposal is applicable for the agency or not, or else it will be rejected, because we are spending our valuable time whenever we are writing a proposal. Not only for proposal, even if you are writing a research paper, you are spending a valuable time. But once you spend a valuable time or a week or a month for one particular task, if it is not get selected, means it will be get hurted. Some people may get discouraged. Some people will never again will do the proposal works like that. So that should not be there. Okay. you're getting failure in any kind of proposals, we have to learn from the failures, and then we have to go again and again and again. Next is what are the investigators or collaborators? So investigators means, there will be a couple of investigators, like we call it as a principal investigator and a co-PI. Okay, so normally whoever having the contribution, normally earlier and all, what will happen, a supervisor will be the PI and their students will be the co-PI. Okay, now you can add any number of people. How overall the people you can able to include means only for the sake of friends you should not include. For your proposal, whether your publication will add some merit. For the proposal, the presence of them should have some merit on the proposal. Only those people we have to add as investigators in the proposal. If not, it will be just like a name. They will get the credit for the appraisal points like that. Okay. Until or unless you have to do the complete work, there will be no kind of contribution from them. So investigators should be added who having some scholarly knowledge in the particular field, and they have some tremendous publications in the particular area. Only those people you have to add as investigators. And collaborators means, it will be called as a two different kind of collaborators. One is called as your academic collaborator or an industrial collaborator. Academic collaborator means, so where you are going to collaborate with the faculty members available in the foreign countries or in the other institutes or the research labs, or the industrial collaborators, provided they should have some scholarly merit, which will have some essence of value to your proposal. And next one, for your proposal, you have to note down what are the available infrastructure is available. So what are the, for an example, you are working for an AI-based healthcare system. What kind of infrastructure is required? We require a computer. We require some softwares. Okay. We require some high-speed processor. Okay, to run our program. For an example, if you are working with a hardware prototype, you want to make some hardware prototype means, you need some sensors, you need some fabrication, you need some product development, you need some testing devices, you need some measuring devices. So you have to make a list out that what are the things are available. Okay. And then we have to go for the budget. Okay. How to make a budget? Because many people are having a doubt in this particular thing. Budget means, for an example, if your proposal, you are proposing for 30 lakhs means, okay, so this particular work, initially we have to make for the manpower. Manpower is required. So manpower can be classified as, one is called the project assistant, okay, and next is called as your JRF, and next is called as a SRF, junior research fellow or senior research fellow. So depending, so PA will get around 18,000, and this person will get around 42,000, and this person will get around 48,000 plus. This includes your HRA. Okay. For an example, if a person he receives a 48,000 per month, so per year you will get around 5,76,000. Okay, 5,76,000. For an example, if it's a 3-year project means, okay, he will get around 17 lakhs as a salary. Okay, so we can able to understand 30 minus 17. Okay, you will get to around only 13 lakhs. Okay, for the other cost. Okay, so within the 13 lakhs, okay, you have to support for your equipments, you have to support for your consumers, you have to support for your travel, you have to support for your contingency, you have to support for your overhead. Okay. So, in a proposal is concerned, maximum price or maximum funding or budget is given to the head of this manpower. Okay. So, for an example, your requirement is more means, other than SRF, you can even go for the project assistant. Okay, whose qualification may be like a diploma or BTech, like that. Okay. And JRF will be for MTech, and SRF will be MTech with a 2 years experience. So depending upon your work, you have to figure out the budget. So initially, because without manpower, it is very difficult for any work, because we will be busy with our academics and all other administrative roles. So we need a person who will be allocated for the 24 hours for designated for this particular job. So such kind of budget estimation is requirement and is requirement. So once you understand this kind of terminologies, it is very easy for us to formulate a proposal. You can ask a question, sir, how much time it will take to formulate a proposal? It will not take more than 5 days to complete one proposal. More than 5 days. If you're having a suitable investigators, suitable collaborators, and everybody sitting on a desk, within 3 days to 5 days, you can complete a very nice proposal. And these are some of the present calls. Okay. So now I will be showing the present call for proposals now. Before going to that, I wish to, I think, Murugeshwari madam has raised their hand. Okay. Madam, any question? So if you have any doubts or queries, you can raise your hands or you can be able to put it in the chat box. Okay. Might be. So I'm just while searching for some of the project results, as I already mentioned you, while going for the research proposals, we want to check what are the proposals that were selected or accepted in 2023. So here you can able to see, okay, this is the proposal that was accepted by ICMR. Okay, so these are the research proposals for extramural grants 2023. These are the list of selected projects. Okay, so we can able to see that. I want to show you. So it does not mean that whenever you're going for this medical based proposals, okay, so some proposals are related to product oriented, and because we are going to see only the AI based, so we can able to see that out of so many proposals, okay, so which are the proposals are quite related to AI, artificial intelligence. So here is one proposal which shows a prognostic role of traumatic brain injury induced white matter changes and longitudinal advanced diffusion MRI study leveraging super resolution and artificial intelligence. So not all the proposals are related to AI. So here in this proposal, it was for the UP Medical University, King George Medical University. So they are making some kind of study related to this MRI images, okay, related to understand the behavior of brain injury. Okay, so they are making some kind of prognostics. Okay, so we know what is meant by diagnostics. It's a prognostic roles. Okay, so in order to understand about traumatic brain injury using the MRI. Okay, so like these kind of works people have already dealt with, but even many people who are watching this particular seminar, you can able to see that such kind of topics can also be already dealt with. But the winning proposal is not only based on topic, but also the way how we are adding the essence in our proposal. Okay, so even many other people would have also been submitted under this call, but they would have got some rejected. But after making that, not only on the title, the reason is now I'm showing the title related to AI, which are the proposals are accepted in ICMR 2023. Okay, and next one we can able to see it's one of the project in VIT Vellore. So it speaks about on the explainable AI using deep learning neural network and machine learning algorithms for prediction and analysis of leprosy, transmission and drug resistance. Okay, so this is also one of the proposals related to leprosy. Earlier proposals we talked about, it is a proposal related to AI for head injury. Okay, and this is not a AI based thing. So it is based actually on the product. Okay, and then you can able to see that in IIT Uttarakhand, Roorkee, so design and development of clean AI-based antibiotic susceptibility device towards optimizing antimicrobial therapy in the leukemia and bone marrow transplant patients. So they are using this AI-based techniques for these kind of things. So the way how we are adding the title. Okay, so now I'm just talking about on the title. So rest of the things in a case study, I will explain you step by step. And next, let us move on to the another. Okay, so here this is for the Chandigarh Medical University. It talks about on AI intelligence, which uses the facilitates the as a marker. Okay, that is to rapidly changing antimicrobial activity. Okay, so where we can able to understand about a novel regimen to mitigate the impact of antimicrobial resistance of AMR. So these are the different works. Okay, and similarly another one, development of a screening technology for the detection of cervical cancer. Okay, and using with scattering method, surface scattering method using spectroscopy, and then with the help of this AI based methods. So these are the different search results which I got. Okay, so when I was surfing with an AI on healthcare domain. So now we understood that the success projects, how the title was written, how the title was made. Now we are going to the next case study, that how the other kind of things, like what are the different elements in a proposal. So I'm taking to one of my proposals, which I was submitted to this medical-based smart healthcare system. So this was the call for proposal from the DST. Okay, so where we have made a proposal for the PVTG for the DST. Okay, so the title what we have made, so we have made with the help of a smart healthcare system, that is with the help of AI based method to the prediction and also for the classification kind of problem. So especially because I belong to Uti, so it's my native. So for my native, I have written this particular proposal. Okay, so whenever you attend any kind of this seminars or webinars, nobody will open and show their proposal, but I am showing only to sharing of knowledge. Okay, so the thing is that it just like a filling of application format. So the targeted look, second question is targeted as OT, and name of my institute is VIT, and then all kind of these questions, and these are my collaborators, and this is what the my principal in this is myself. Okay, and then our details will go like that. Okay, and this is what the ongoing and completed kind of projects about our analysis. So we want to give the projects which was related to healthcare domain alone. Okay, so what are the healthcare domain and what are the AI based techniques? Okay, so here we can see the one of the project related to AI based method for the diagnosis and the COVID-19 direction, such kind of works. Okay, so these are the ongoing and the complete. So our personal details we have to give, and then about our institute and the budget. Now we talk about on the technical details of the project. So here in this particular proposal, we talk about on the smart healthcare system for the remote location. That's a tribal people. Okay, so we have taken the beneficiaries in the two villages. Okay, we have how many list of families, and then we have taken about the profile of the area in which you are going to work with, and what is the population size. Okay, so because for AI based work, we have to make it as a population size, and what are the population which we are going to consider, and their social economic conditions and everything, and what are the knowledge based systems, and what are the details about the various amenities available in those villages. And now we talk about on the problem statement. So till now we have discussed about on the area specific and the population specific, and then the specimens or the location specific, or then we are talk about on the cases. So here we talk about on this problem statement. Okay, so we want to make the health disorders and the science and technology solutions we are going to adopt in order to overcome the death due to negligence. Okay, and also we talk about on the lack of data, because for AI based solution, for an example, the data plays a very important role. Okay, so for that I've given one small example also. If a person he visits a doctor twice in a year, his health data for the particular area year is only two. So within the two data, it is very difficult to take some decisions, because we want the AI to take some decisions. Okay. So with the two data, how the decisions can be arrived. So we want some more number of data. So if the data is abundant, we can able to take some steps for improvement of health by physically and mentally, and how to store the data. Okay. And also product development and also the communications. And we have made some review about the AI based solution, especially for the particular groups. Okay, so we have taken about on the university student group, and then we have taken the biosensors, how it was made for the different amount of data, how the IoT based techniques, how the wireless health data being transferred, and what are the healthcare solutions using the smartphones to indicate the data, and what are the solutions can be made across the worldwide. So we have made the references, okay, which was made across the world in the both the national. So after making the reference, we have given that there comes a few shortcomings. What are the shortcomings in the AI-based solutions for the healthcare? One is on the performance, and one is on the accuracy in decision making, and also the scarcity. That's a limited amount of data. So within that particular data, we cannot be able to meet the real world problems. So, and also certain data they talk about only certain health ailments. For an example, if you want to search for some certain data, it will be looking across only for the certain healthcare events, not as a whole. So here we talk about on the entire data set from the individual things. Okay, so we have made the suggested solutions using this AI for decision making and overcome to solve the health problem. So, smart healthcare solution for the PVTGs. So how to collect the data? Because we know that for the AI-based healthcare systems, okay, the primary requirement is the data set. I hope you all agree, because you peoples are from ECE and the computer science domain, and I'm from electrical domain. Okay, so I can able to say that this data set is a very important prerequisite. So whenever I'm taking the subject for my students or research scholars or postdocs, I usually say that don't search for the data set in the internet, because many people are working with a data set using the Kaggle or GitHub, which is aware of the data set. That will be useful only for your research paper, or cooking up a paper, or cooking a data set. But we want the data set to be a normal. We want that data set to be a reliable one. That is, we have made those data sets. The data set has been made by us. So we have made a field study for the collection of data. Using the data, I want to create a product, because this project will provide only for the product development, and I want to test the data with the medical experts from CMC value. And we have made some what are the technical solutions we are going to do, and who are all the peoples involved in this particular work, and the importance. And this is the objectives of our work. Okay, so we want to make a real-time study of health problems, and we want to make a real-time health monitoring systems, and we want to make intelligent-based IoT. And this intelligent-based control algorithm will take the decision making with respect to the various things. So while making the methodology of this particular work, so these are the parameters which I can able to take by the help of sensors. Using the sensors, I can able to see, I can able to come across all the symptoms using the sensors. Without using a sensors, using the verbal communications, I can able to measure some symptoms. So I'm having a two different kind of data sets. So with the help of the data set, I can able to work with the IoT based systems in order to make the different deployment of sensors, and then how to collect the data set. And then we frame the methodology for the extraction and for the product development and the verbal questionnaire. And then we made an algorithm for this particular thing, that is to undergo what is the safe and unsafe parameters. And then we made a work plan for the 3 years, and what are the different elements of data collection and product testing, product development, and product deployment. Okay. And finally, we have given some impact for the social and economic analysis. And then we made a budget. Okay. So normally we know that, we taken for the budget for 66 lakhs. So we made a manpower, consumables, travel, training program, and contingency and overhead. And then we made a total of 66 lakhs. And then individual judgment or justification for each and every amount we have given. And finally, we have given the about VIT. That is, what is the role of VIT, and what is the ranking of VIT, and how many projects has been taken by VIT. And these are the expertise about our field members, and what are the expertise being available, facilities available, and endorsement certificate, and then with help of the investigator certificate and all our CV. Okay, we have CV, we have attached. So the reason why I'm showing this means you should have get some idea about how the proposal has to be made and fabricated. Now, the next part of our presentation is going to be what are the recent calls are available. Okay, so what are the recent calls are available? Okay, in order to call for proposals. So BIRAC is giving the
Excuse me, sir. Hello, am I audible to you?
hi, ma'am, Suman, ma'am. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good. I'm fine, sir. Sir, I have seen that you have mentioned about your institute in your proposal. So, is it required, or is it mentioned in the proposal for a
Yes,
sample
it is
format,
mentioned in
which
the
was
yeah.
it
It is
was
mentioned in the
mentioned?
format, ma'am. It is mentioned, ma'am.
Oh,
We will show
okay,
that,
but
and it is
normally,
uh,
yes, yes.
yeah.
Normally, the proposal I tried there, it was not mentioned. So I thought that I should write it even if it is
Okay,
not asked or
okay,
not.
Okay. So here they have asked in the part number 4, they asked that description of the
Huh.
implementation agencies.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So if you have some collaborators, we have to, for example, if the industry means we have to attach their audited statements for the last 3 years. Those things we have to attach.
Okay, okay.
But it is
So
not in
if
the,
it,
all the format, ma'am. Only the few
yeah, so if
formats
it
they
is
are
not
asking.
mentioned,
Yeah.
yeah, sir, my question, if it is not mentioned, even if we should mention it over there or not
No, no, no,
about
no,
our
no, 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 ma'am.
organization,
No, ma'am.
not
No, ma'am.
required.
No, no,
Okay,
no, not required.
okay,
Not required.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead,
Thank you.
please.
Thank you. So the BIRAC at present, they are making the n number of calls at present. BIRAC. BIRAC stands for this Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council. We can able to see that, the 3 calls are open at the same time. So we are having the last time date of January 2024. So we are having the sufficient time of 20th. All the 3 calls are closing in the January 2024. So the works that was quite related to AI-based healthcare. So for an example, you can able to see that earlier it was a call. Now the call, even the call is there. So especially the research in tuberculosis. Okay, so how to address the tuberculosis TB, okay, to address in this India. So you can just click this one, you can able to see that to address the gaps in India. So we can able to see that, we can able to register, you can able to see the call for proposal over here. So who can apply? Anyone can apply for this particular call. Okay, so you can able to apply through online. So the calls related to healthcare domain is keep on available in the BRAC. Okay. Now let us see about to the next one. Similarly, the BIRAC, you can able to see the one more call. You can able to see that, that is the topic of our this presentation. So we are going to make an AI-based solution to improve the global health. The last date is 23rd December, just 2 days more. See, I'm not taking the presentation, just you should complete within 2 days. Okay. I'm not asking you to complete within 2 days. The same kind of call will come even in the next 2024. The thing, that is the reason, the initial thing of my presentation, I showed the slide. We have to be much more aware that whenever the call for proposal comes. Okay. So certain, for an example, you have more number of publications in the tuberculosis, more number of publications, cervical cancer. So you can able to apply, you can able to see that here, the same proposal, you can able to click here to register. So this is a registration site. So they are going to ask you for in which schemes you're going to register, and you can able to see that, the request for proposal call has been available. Okay. So so it's an AI-based solutions in order to improve the global health. Okay. So it has been from BIRAC. So what are the various things? So these are the problem statements they are given. Either from the clinical decision support. So we have to create a AI-based system for the health workers and population health and policy making using healthcare, using machine learning or deep learning, and support for frontline workers. Okay, and then health communications. How we are going to make it, and health systems strengthening. Okay, so if your work are related to this domain alone, more specifically, we can able to submit the proposals. So the submission of proposals, the BIRAC is very, very simple. Okay, so we can able to see that they are looking for some kind of proposals, especially the projects led by women. They will be giving the solutions, and also proposal has to be have the access to data, decision makers, and using AI. So they are asking that the proposal in which you are going to make a data, the data has to be accessible. So we cannot say that I'm going to take from Kaggle. So what we have to do, we have to make some kind of collaboration with the hospitals. Okay, you know, to make the access for the data, that will add the merit. So whatever the criteria they have given, we have to fulfill that one. So the thing is that we are looking for the AI based healthcare. So we can able to see the funding about $1 lakh dollars will be given. So this project will be for only 12 months, just for 1 year. Okay, so where we can able to see that how simple the proposal is. Okay. So it's for 1 year proposal, and they are given some guidelines for the proposal. It is very simple. It's we can able to add this one. So the thing is that we can able to, this is one of like a grand challenge. And also they are asking this proposal that it should be a novel idea. Okay, just we are saying that we are going to make some kind of AI-based solution in order to solve a problem, they will not give. So we want to improvise this proposal. Okay, we have to make a good collaborations. Okay, so these collaborators should be having some merit by adding them. Okay, so because here they have already given that we should not explicitly use the reference of LLMs and do not have a timely access to data. They will not consider the proposal. So we have to give the request letter that our data will be given from our hospital. They will consider. Okay, so we should not demonstrate the most of the work proposed will led by the investigator from our country, because this is a very important point. So whenever you are writing a proposal, you should not write whichever the work that has been made by so many investigators from our country, because AI is one of the AI is not a subject; it is a tool. It has been done by so many people. So we are going to give the same work means they will not. This is quite going to be a very competitive one. So if we are not including a validation plan, and if you're not providing a scale-up plan, that is ultimately our work has to be converted as a product. If those things are not available, they will not consider the proposal. This is for BIRAC. And next one is the present call for proposals. I'm going to talk about on AIM. Okay, so this is a call for proposals, especially for advanced health. Okay, so where we can able, these are the proposals are closed at present, so we can able RTAI readiness. Okay, so it's just like a something like international call for. Okay, so most of the proposals have been closed, but the meanwhile we have to follow these websites in order to come for the next call for proposals. Okay, and this is one of the proposal call we normally call it as a Melinda Gates Foundation. Okay, so they are asking the proposals especially for use of AI. Okay, especially for the low and medium level countries for improving the livelihood or health. Okay, so this is the Melinda Gates Foundation. So we can able to see every year, but this is very competitive. Okay, this is just like a global challenge program. So each recipient will get the 1 lakh US dollars for totally a project. Okay, so where we can able to see that this proposal is last year we have submitted Melinda Gates. Okay, but unfortunately it was not got accepted because it's very competitive. So we want to nurture, that is, we want to reach out to the tribal end until unless this will not be get selected. Okay, so at the end of this presentation, we have seen that what are the proposals, how the proposal formats, what are the present calls, how AI based calls are coming more and more, and how to give some kind of motivation related to these proposals. Now it is open for questions. If you have any questions, we can discuss. Now it is open for questions. If you have any questions, we can ask. Thank you, Vasudevan, sir. So age limit applicable for all proposals. Sorry, just now I'm saying age limit is not applicable for all the proposals, especially for the postdoctoral research. Might be they will giving some 35 or 40 years. Okay. But that will be relaxed for women or from community-based thing. They are relaxing this age also. So age is not a big criteria for submitting the proposals. Okay. Even if you are going beyond that, and if you're having some novel idea, so we can be able to do it by using some kind of relaxation. Are there any funding agency for doctoral fellowships? N number of funding agents, doctoral fellowships, especially for those doing the full-time research, not for part-time research. For those doing the full-time research, there are so much of funding opportunities are available. But many a times, sorry, many a times, people they are not using this opportunity, okay, for this kind of grants okay, for this kind of publications or this kind of research avenues in our country. Other than our country, many countries are giving, but not like our country. So we are giving the more number of funding and allocating more number of funds for research. But the people, those who are having this awareness are very, very less. So doctoral fellowship guidelines, many institutions will not provide more than 3 years. Okay. So guidelines means, the doctoral fellowships. Okay. For an example, in VIT, we are having the full-time PhD. We are having the fellowships. And the full-time PhD, we are paying month 35,000 fellowship per month. Okay. At par with the government institute, VIT is paying for the full-time PhD. And also, we are also providing the seed grant initiative for research scholars along with your faculty investigators. And also we are providing a 2 open access fee waiver for research scholars. For an example, if they are publishing in the open access, we are not making the students to pay for the money for the journals. Whereas they just send the acceptance letter to the academic research office. So they will pay the required open access fee. How incubation infrastructure is going to help the selection process? So incubation infrastructure is available in every institutes. Incubation is only to make people to understand that, that is our work in the required TRL levels. Okay. That is, it is moved to the TRL number 3 to 4. That indication is given by the incubation. Because TRL 1 is normally our idea. TRL 2 is idea is given as a flow chart on the block diagram. And TRL 3 is a laboratory based thing. TRL 4, that is, it is going to some kind of work. Okay. So that infrastructure is very, very important for every institute. Even those institutes are not having incubation facility, they should have the incubation facilities only to until the work are copyrighted or until the work are patented, it should be there in incubation or until it will be technology transferred. Many people does not having awareness about this technology transfer. Okay, the NAC, it is also one of the criteria of technology transfer. Once you develop the product, okay, either the product can be published or either the topic can be patented. So once you get the patent, your work is not over on that particular thing. You are going to sell the technology to the notable industries. So the industry will provide you, that is, the industry is getting the product, your idea to them. That is called technology transfer. So for that, incubation plays a vital role. That is, we can also advertise that what are the incubatees or what are the products are kept in our incubation center and how these products are to be transferred to the technologies. We have to move one by one. Okay, we should not make them to stagnant in incubations. Once it is get ready, it has to go out. Why in the hospitals we are having incubation? The child may be a premature baby or the child may be not that much of well to go out. So they're keeping incubation for a couple of weeks or a couple of days. Once it gets ready, we are not going to make the child to be there for incubation for a long time. We are making them to go out. The same thing our projects also. This infrastructure incubation is only to make our product to be withstand for some time. And once it gets ready, it has to walk away. And Anita ma'am, you are asking if we are having a new to an area, we are trying to apply for funding without any, it's not a disadvantage. So what normally I will say, I will answer your question in a different way. Many people will come and ask me for paper publications in a journal articles, some tips. Okay. So I will say that, whether your work is having experimental results, because for electrical is concerned, we want more number of experimental results. The people will say that, sorry, sir, I never made any experiments. Okay. I'm having only simulation results. So what we have to do, you don't have experimental results. So the simulation results, what you have taken, that should fill the gap of the experimental setup. So what we have to do, we have to take more number of simulation results to fill the gap of your experimentals. Some people will say that, sir, I don't have simulation, I don't have experiment, how to make my paper to get published. So we know that you are having some gap in your paper. That is no results in simulation or in the hardware. So what you have to do, you make the paper in a very excellent review paper. That is the way how we are going to figure out in which direction we are going to move. Okay. So for your question, I can say that, if you don't have publication in that particular area, at least you make some couple of papers by now. by now, at least make it as a submission stage. At least you make a paper to be submitted as Scopus, okay? At least in a conference, and any one paper which coincide to the particular area, or else you give the title, it is submission stage, like that. The bracket you give as a submission stage. Without nil publications, they will not consider, because now it is very, very competitive. If you are
Good
submitting
evening,
PR,
sir.
yes, madam.
Sir, myself Mogna Priya. I'm having one doubt, sir. So,
Yes, madam.
if I'm getting project proposal for 3 years, is
Ah.
it possible to complete before the closing date, sir?
No, ma'am. We have to actually our period is 3 years. Means normally we will never complete before 3 years, ma'am. We will may take one extension because some of my project it even went for 5 years. Okay, so we cannot be able to complete within the 3 years. Some kind of goals we may reach, we may not, because our work is completely on the experimental time.
Yes.
If you are interested to complete before 3 years, means they will ask they will ask a question that to extend the work for other applications also.
Okay.
So
Sir.
even though you are completing, you have to say that that is a possible set of outcomes should be there.
Okay.
But it is not possible to complete within the stipulated time.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question.
Yes, madam.
Is that proposal that we received a grant for one particular title, right, sir?
Okay.
Whether we need to publish the paper according to that work, sir? Is it mandatory?
No, it's nothing is mandatory, ma'am. So
Okay.
as far as research is concerned, nothing is mandatory. You are getting the project, you are doing the project, and then okay. But in the review time, if you want to get one more proposal, or if you want to make your profile to show some outcomes for the particular project, it is our interest to publish a paper, applying for a patent. It is our interest, or technology transfer. Nothing is mandatory in this as far as research projects are concerned.
Okay. Whether in what kind of review they will assess, sir?
They will assess, especially they will assess only the publications.
Okay.
First thing. That too, they expect the publication to be only in the Q1, Q2 journals. Okay. And also, if we are publishing in some kind of IEEE transactions or IET or Springer, they will be very happy. Okay. And we are going to make their funding and support in acknowledgement also. So they are very happy that we are acknowledged their funding support. So if we are publishing in a conference or a Scopus or greater than Q3 means, so they will give the remark, the publication is not up to the mark, like that. So such remarks in the next review meeting, they will meticulously look on to that, and they will ask some more number of questions, some more number of improvements, like that.
Okay. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. And Kavita, ma'am, you are asking that if you are submitting TR level 2 for BIRAC proposal, then tell about the approximate. So budget cannot be approximated, ma'am. Okay. So for a budget cannot be approximate. Depends upon even the city in which you are living. Because HRA of your city can be classified into 3 types: X city, Y city, Z city. X city means, where the house rent will be very high. So the HRA will be 12%. And Y city will be something like, let us say, X is Chennai, Y is Chengalpattu, and Z we normally called as a Erode or Perundurai, like that, Z, where the HRA is 8%. So that particular percentage also makes some deviation in your overall budget. And also budget also depends upon how many equipments you're going to buy, whether the equipments are imported or exported, or what is the GST of those equipments, how many consumers you are needed, what is your travel plan. So those things only will give the budget. But approximately we can, or else you have to work out with the budget of 20 lakhs. I don't want to go more than 20 lakhs. So within the 20 lakhs, if you want to work with, also you can able to budget. It's just like I'm going to install a solar panel to my house. Using the money, I can design my solar panel, or else for the required 3 kilowatt, how much load I'm going to connect, anything. It depends upon our research work and depends upon our research area. And Sadish Kumar sir, he has asked that in collaboration central institutes, high ranking proposal with good publication. Yes, that's very true. Very true. So you can able to collaborate with INARF ranking institutes or IITs or NITs. But the problem where it will come, during the submission of proposal, the problem will not come. But once the proposal is accepted, the problem comes. For an example, with a collaborator, you are submitting a proposal and you are getting a funding of 25 lakhs or 30 lakhs. Okay, this 30 lakhs will go only to the main institute. Okay, you will not get any kind of money for your institute. So what your institute will ask, how much of money our institute will get. So such kind of conflict will arise. So before that itself, we have to say that whenever you're submitting a proposal, if the budget is some 40 lakhs, means how much of money for your institute, how much of money is for my institute. Such kind of agreement should be made without making any kind of conflict after the acceptance of proposal. But it will increase the acceptance rate. Acceptance rate is normally will increase, but your institute to accept, okay, to agree for this kind of collaboration. But many institutes, they will not agree. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So another one prerequisite for all the project proposals is enhance your profile strength with more number of publications, especially in Q1 and Q2. All your undergrads and postgraduates student project reports to be converted depending upon your work. Always try for Q1, Q2 journals. Okay. That will enhance our profile. Okay. And also every year, because we are going to end 2023, we are going to for the 2024. Every year you set a target for number of publications per year. So that only will make us to get more number of projects. So for projects, obviously, if you take across the SERB, DST SERB, obviously they look onto the investigator's profile. At that time, we should not say that. Many a times, this is not an advice. This is some kind, as we are talking to our colleagues, I'm saying that, so we have to enlarge or extend our profile strength within 40 or 45 years of age. Our profile strength should be at the peak at 40 to 45, because after that, anyway, we are going for the administrative goals. That is the reason many a times I will suggest my friends not to take any administrative roles in 30s or 35s. Okay, that is the age where you have to run and publish. Because after 45, we cannot be able to run to collect the results and to publish. We have to depend upon others like scholars, some research students, or something like that. But we have to make any kind of profile strength can be made only before 40 or 45. After that, it's very difficult. Okay, we have to depend on others. So independent researchers are highly promoted. So all the very best. I hope the questions sessions is over. I think Divya ma'am, are you there?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I hope I've taken much of the time also.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I extend my deepest gratitude for the incredible, insightful lecture you delivered on funding opportunities. Your guidance has opened up new avenues of understanding and possibilities for us, sir. Thank you for generously sharing your knowledge and empowering us with the tools to navigate the world of funding. Thank you once again for your time, expertise, and passion towards this area. Your contribution has left a lasting impression on us, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.